Look everybody, Tammy's back. There she is. I know you've missed her. Alright, so let's see here. Somebody says, I got a brindle from 2 lilac dogs. How is that possible? Well, first thing is remember that brindle is a dominant gene. A single copy shows. But it's kind of funny because sometimes a dog can have a copy of brindle and it doesn't show, and it's there. And typically in those dogs, they've got a little bit of brindle somewhere, maybe on their back end, but if you look around you can find it. Then the other thing is, because you could have a merle dog that's a brindle, and it's very hard to tell brindle and a merle dog. But in this case, we have 2 lilac dogs that produced a brindle. How is that possible? Well, the answer is that one of those dogs did in fact carry a copy of brindle, or you messed up and you bred to the wrong dog, which is highly unlikely. So you can't get brindle unless one of the dogs carries brindle. So that's the only way it can happen. So one of those 2 dogs did carry brindle.
Or both.
Or both, that's right. Christopher LeBro says, hey, which method of shipping do you use for international clients? Well, when we're shipping our products from My Breeder Supply, almost always we use the post office. If we're shipping to Canada, then we might use FedEx. But the problem is that FedEx, UPS, to go outside the country, except to Canada, is just horribly expensive. I mean, for us to send an incubator somewhere by FedEx might cost a couple $100. I mean, it's crazy. Versus if we send it by the post office, a large incubator might cost $80. So the answer is, on our site, most of the time it's going to be post office. You know, if you talk about shipping semen, that's always going to be done FedEx. There's no other way to do that. Okay. Somebody's asking about price. Yeah, I dealt with price on the last one. I'm not going to do with prices here. So someone's asking about prescription meds. I did a video on prescription meds and a pet farmer out of Canada. Mystic River Frenchie says, lol, pet farm Canada, but they don't ship to Canada. Now, that may be, I don't know about that. They do ship to America. And you can order anything that you normally have to get a script for, you can order from pet farmer. Does a fluffy carrier mated with another fluffy carrier make one full fluffy in the litter at least? No. So it's all about odds. It's like, how many times should you have to toss a coin to guarantee that you got a head? And the answer to that is, there is no answer. You could throw a coin 100 times and never get a head. It's highly unlikely, but it's it's happened and it will happen again. The chances of it are actually 2 to the 100th power, whatever that number is, a huge number, but absolutely can happen. So getting back to your question here, if you put a fluffy carrier with a fluffy carrier, the question is, what would you expect to get? There are no guarantees. It's just like saying, am I guaranteed to get a female? No. Are you guaranteed to get a male? No. Are you guaranteed to get a female or male? No. Nothing's guaranteed in this. It's purely statistical in nature. So with that being said, then you can talk about probabilities. So you put a fluffy carrier with a fluffy carrier, what would you expect to get? The answer is, you'd expect to get 1/4 of the litter full fluffies, 1/4 of the litter no fluffy whatsoever, and 1/2 of the litter fluffy carriers. If you had a big enough litter, 8 puppies, you'd probably get 2 full fluffies, 2 nothing fluffies, 4 fluffy carriers, or something approaching those numbers. If you had a single puppy, no bets. I mean, what are you going to get? I hope that makes sense. A number of people have said, hey, in my other video I was asking about the guy who, the drug lord from Mexico who got away in the tunnel, what was his name? A number of people have told me. Tammy, do you remember what his name is?
No.
El Chapo.
Oh, El Chapo.
Yes, Joaquin Guzman. That's where we get all our drugs from. No, we don't. No, we don't. Hey, you can get them in Oklahoma. Pot's legal here. Tiffany Sloan says, is Zelle considered a safe and legitimate wire transfer? Well, we don't have Zelle here because our bank's not big enough. But Zelle is, I think it is safe, and it's not as such a wire transfer. It's just a means of moving money around without basically doing a wire transfer. You can Zelle somebody, and I don't think it's reversible. So that's really the question. The question here.
Put out with PayPal.
Yeah, no kidding. So
Put out with them real bad.
So when somebody is it safe, you have to ask first off, is it legitimate? Yeah, of course, it's legitimate. Yes. The question when you say is it safe, it's always the question that should be answered before that. Is it safe for me as the seller? Is it safe for me as the buyer? And the problem with this is it's not possible to have any method of transfer of money that is safe for both parties, right? Because you can get screwed 10 ways from Sunday. So there's a certain amount of faith has to go in with this, and the right answer on this is always do your due diligence, both as a buyer and a seller, to make sure that you're doing things that you think you're in a safe environment, whether that's you're doing a transfer of money, maybe, and I made some comments about doing that in a crowded place, and some other people said that's not good enough. It really needs to be in a place where people have got guns, like bank offices and police stations. Absolutely fair enough. Yeah, it's absolutely fair enough. So, is Zelle safe? Yeah, I think so. We never use Zelle, so I'm not experienced with it. Some other people might chime in, but I think that it is safe in terms of it can't be reversed.
PayPal will reverse it, no matter how long you've been with them.
Yeah, well, what Tammy's talking about PayPal, the problem with PayPal, it gets to be this. You think you're doing something for friends and family, and as a seller and to receiving money that you're safe. The answer is you don't know that at all. Because if the person who's giving you the money, in fact, uses a credit card, then you have no recourse at all, and you absolutely can get
suckered in.
And we've done it. We've had it act on us a number of times.
Right.
So we
don't do it because the credit card company protects their customer. PayPal just sits back and goes, "Oops, not going to happen."
Yeah, it's even worse than that. What happens is that you do a transaction. We sold a progesterone machine not so long ago. So you do a transaction, it all looks good, and then the person claims something that's wrong. Okay, fine. Well, then normally what you'd expect to happen is get a phone call to find out what the problem is so that you can fix it, right? And that doesn't happen. If the person, basically, if they're standing behind a credit card on the other side, there's nothing you can do. Zip. You can't even find out the credit card. You are SOL. So I'm telling you that PayPal has got its place, but we do not use PayPal for any significant transactions these days. PayPal is very dangerous.
And we've been with them for years.
Oh, 20 years. 20 years. 20 years. And you even have protection as a seller, because you pay 3%, which doesn't do any good. So.
And the guy on the phone that one day.
Yeah, well, let's not make this a bitch session.
Just don't ever use PayPal.
I'm just telling you this: PayPal. If you're taking PayPal, most of the time it'll be fine, but not always will be fine. You will get screwed, and it won't be. All you can do is lick your wounds on those ones. My friend, his English bulldog, and she had a heart murmur and had all healthy puppies. Would you recommend that? Let's see what the replies are. Good breeders always recommend to never breed a dog that has a heart murmur. So I think here's the problem with this, is that heart murmurs are categorized in 1 through 6. So if you've got a dog that has a significant heart murmur, I would absolutely not be breeding it. In fact, we did have a puppy not so long ago that did have a heart murmur, and that went strictly as a pet.
Pet only.
Pet only.
You wouldn't even dream that he had a heart murmur.
No, he was so active. So active, yeah, so active.
Outrunning the rest of the brothers and sisters.
Yeah, right, exactly.
Now he's in a good.
So the only way, by the way, this is something that you should do on all your puppies before your puppies ever leave. That you should go and have them checked out by your vet. You can simply go get a stethoscope, which comes with a puppy care kit, by the way, and you can go listen to a dog's heart. And after you've done this a few times, you'll get very familiar with it, and you'll get familiar with what sounds if you have a heart murmur. A normal dog sounds more like a Swiss clock, and tick, 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 tick. A heart murmur sounds like a washing machine. And that sound that I'm doing right there, that is a bad heart murmur. That is probably a 4 or higher heart murmur. And what's going on is the valve is not closing properly. And so the fluid that goes through the valve comes back through the valve the wrong way. That's what a heart murmur does. And so you get this whooshing noise as it goes, rather than a valve tick opening nicely, tick, 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 tick.
It was going.
Yes, sound
like a wash machine.
Yeah. Don't breed those dogs.
Yeah.
Don't breed those dogs.
No,
now,
well, no.
You can have a puppy.
But this isn't hereditary. The
Well,
vet said no. The vet told me that it's just one of those deals that happens.
Well, it was in that case because there was 10 puppies and there was only one that had it. So I'm pretty sure that's exactly right. But here's the deal on this.
Shut the gate.
Yeah, this is what I would. In fact, we're going to finish on this one right here. We're going to finish on this thing here. So look, I mean, Tammy's brought up some good points here. So the question is, do you breed a dog with a heart murmur? The answer to that is no.
Don't.
But you could have a puppy that has a heart murmur that's a 1 that completely goes away.
Yeah, sometimes the muscle goes ahead and takes care of its own. But
so in that situation,
it wouldn't want it.
So then the next question is, if it's not hereditary, then why are people saying don't breed it? I think the answer is, could be a hereditary component here. And so if you want to be safe on this, I mean,
I guess it's one of those deals that you ask 10 vets and you get 10 different answers.
Yeah, right. So. I mean, you know, I think if you've had puppies in a litter with a heart murmur, then I would not breed back that pair together for sure.
No, do another stud to a different.
Yeah. So don't match those two up again because, you know, it may be one of those funny
it didn't connect right.
double recessives that are going on that you can't test for, but it's there and it shows up occasionally. And in that case, you'd expect 1 in quarter of the puppies to have a heart murmur on average. Is what you'd expect. So, I mean, look, you know, you want to have your dogs as perfect as you can get them, right?
Yeah.
I mean, we spend a lot of time and effort to get to that point, and not all of the dogs that we keep.
Hard working money.
Yeah, not all the dogs that we keep stay with us. Some of them get moved on as puppies, as pets. They're still perfectly fine dogs. And typically it's not for health reasons, it's more because of structural reasons. You know, there's something about the dog, not quite what you want, too long in the back, you know, a little bit long in the leg, whatever it is. You know, doesn't get your eye appeal. And Tammy's a stickler on this, and good for her. So, you know, she's more of a stickler than I am, and good for her because, you know, it's proven to be successful for us. So so the point here is, I'm not sure what the point of this is. I'm rambling. We're in the dark now. It's coming to the house. Yeah. So you want to add any more to it, Tammy?
No.
Not really. Yeah.
I've got a little boy dog with short hair. He's a blue and tan. He is a quad carrier, and he is AT-AT, and he is available. And
it's a little bitty boy.
Yeah.
He's pretty.
Yeah. And then don't forget, I've got a little female full visual fluffy for a pet.
Right.
So give me a call at 580-799-1910. Thanks.
Hey, thanks for watching, everybody.
Bye.
Be safe. Bye.